Good morning. I want to do a video on my upcoming book, So Long as Game May Be Found Thereon. That's the name of it, and it has a subtitle, A Story About Indian Hunting Rights in Wyoming and Beyond. And this is a book I've been working on for about 2 years, and actually sitting down writing it, but it's based upon information I've collected my adult life. And I got started with it when my daughter was when my wife and I were getting my daughter enrolled with the Shoshone and Bannock tribes. You have to provide information on your line and how you're directly descendant of Indian people that were on the rolls in 1934. And so started working on that, and I was like, well, I need to write this stuff down for my daughter so she knows about it, and my other family, that a lot of our family, we don't know about, like, who our people are. And that's a traditional family value here in Fort Hall, is you're supposed to know who you're related to. And so I thought it'd be important to do that, so I started writing a paragraph about each one. And first started with like their date, when they were born and when they died, but then I started writing a little more about them, paragraph, and then it got more and more. And so one of the characters in my family line, or family tree, is John Racehorse Sr. His Indian name was Bohavi. And I think he had another Indian name called Ura Nana, which means the tall. Was it Ura Nana? I think it was I'll have to look that up. Maybe it wasn't Ura Nana, but it was. It means standing tall. Oh, no. Yeah, it was Ura Wunada. Ura Wunada, standing tall. Uda Nana means tall man or long man, but it was Uda Wunada. That was his Indian name. But anyway, he was involved in the Shoshone and Bannock tribe's inaugural off-reservation hunting and fishing rights test case. Or I guess it would be a hunting test case. And in our treaty, the Fort Bridger Treaty of 1868, it says the Indians herein named agree, when the agency house and other buildings shall be constructed on their reservations named, they will make said reservations their permanent home, and they will make no permanent settlement elsewhere. But they shall have the right to hunt on the unoccupied lands of the United States, so long as game may be found thereon, and so long as peace subsists among the whites, Indians on the borders of the hunting districts. And so I have a connection to this, and my family has a connection to it. And ultimately, that case, it was decided by the United States Supreme Court, and the court decided that hunting rights afforded to the Bannock tribe under the Fort Bridger Treaty, they were not sustained following Wyoming's attainment of statehood in 1890. And the case is recognized now as Ward v. Racehorse. So for over 100 years, the repercussions of the pivotal Ward v. Racehorse case have deeply affected not only Shoshone and Bannock tribes, but the Eastern Shoshone tribe and the Crow tribe. The Crow tribe have the exact same language in their treaty of Fort Laramie. And what is unsettling about this whole case is it stemmed from a calculated conspiracy involving hunting guides, Wyoming state and federal officials, and also involved a murder of Bannock Indians and a Bannock elder and two infant children, and others were shot. That's what got it in the court case, but the court case didn't address any of that, didn't even discuss it. They twisted it so it was fun to focus on fishing rights, I guess, or hunting rights. But there's a lot of history. That was the first test case, and so we lost our hunting rights in Wyoming for over 100 years. And in 1999, there was another case called the Minnesota versus the Mille Lacs Band of Chippewa Indians, and that basically reversed that decision. And another test case with the Crow tribe member, Herrera versus Wyoming, that like reaffirmed the Mille Lacs case and overturned aspects of the racehorse verdict. And however, the state of Wyoming is reluctant to provide necessary redress on this, and they're they haven't done nothing. We're still battling it out with them, and they still have not done anything with the murder of the Bannock Indians back in 1895. And so basically my book examines, starts early on, like before colonization, and examines our hunting traditions and cultural heritage, particularly here in Fort Hall, and how we could trace our roots back into western Wyoming. And the case is, I guess the other thing I would like to say about this case and what happened is, when we got put here on the reservation, we were once a self-sufficient, self-reliant, completely independent people. And the government, they wanted to assimilate us, and they took all that away, and they basically made us like this dependent people, completely dependent on the government. We still are, and basically wiped out our culture, our language, and but prior to that, like I said, we were self-reliant and independent. The act of hunting was something that helped us achieve that. It helped us achieve that independence and self-reliance, because yes, it was about getting meat, but that wasn't it. It entailed group travel, like families and community. The whole community would go on these hunting trips, and when they would kill these animals, the men would hunt them and kill the animals. The women would come in and they would process the meat. On the way, they would stop, get plants and medicines, and they would have to take care of their animals, like their horses and their dogs that helped them in the hunting process. And they would have to craft tools, and they would get these animals, get these materials. They could make gloves out of them, crafts, and then they could sell those gloves and crafts and make money. And when they were on these hunting trips, they'd often come into contact with other people, both white and other tribes, and they would have to organize defense. And so that took community organization. They would unite under like war chiefs who could deal with that, or talk good, and make decisions on how to be self-reliant and defend themselves. And so it fostered community independence, basically. And so it's my theory that is why the chief and headman of the Shoshone and Bannock tribes, Chief Tagi of the Bannock tribe, and Chief Washki, that's why they wanted that in the treaty, because they knew it was integral part of our identity and our culture, and we needed it. And so that's why I believe that it got included in the Fort Bridger Treaty. Like, we reserved and expressly identified that right be put in there, because it's important for our culture and identity. And so with colonization and the genocide that we endured, we lost a lot of that. And so another aspect of my book I'm trying to bring back is that, yes, it talks about our hunting traditions and narratives and history, but I also want it to kind of speak to some of our other Indian men here on Fort Hall and our community here, that what it means to be an Indian hunter and warrior. You know, it's not about going shooting the animal with the biggest horns, which I see a lot of, and it was more about taking care of a community, organizing, being disciplined, and independent, being able to endure adversity. There was a lot to it. It wasn't just, yeah, I'm gonna go shoot the biggest animal. So anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you about my upcoming book, and I hope you buy it, and let me know what you think. Is it going to be something needed? Um, I'd like to know what you think. Give me put some comments down, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.